Breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Part of US 64 is closed in Wake County after a serious crash near Lizard Lick Road. You're looking live from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. What we know about this crash that appears to be deadly.
And today is the day that rain is back in our forecast, but I'll show you what happens once this front moves on past us.
UNC football fallout. An assistant coach suspended after a WRAL investigation into the Tar Heels locker room. New developments as the Belichick era is off to a rocky start. A lot to tell you about on that story and more. We hope to make your Wednesday a smooth start. Welcome to your Wednesday. Thanks for joining us. I'm Renee Chu. Big changes with our weather. We get to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. The rain we've been waiting on coming today.
Yes, our next weather maker, the front itself is still back here across parts of Tennessee. There's a little bit of rain that's moved down into the foothills and the Piedmont. Nothing showing up in our viewing area just yet, but it wouldn't be out of the question to see maybe a sprinkle this morning. Once we get to mid to late morning is when we'll likely see a better chance for rain. You can see that chance by 11 o'clock goes up to 50%. Of course, that means that maybe only half of us see much rain out of this. So this does not look like it's going to be a big rainmaker with a lot of heavy, good soaking rain, but we will at least get some out of it, probably around 1/4 of an inch. At Lake Gaston, all's quiet this morning, 70 degrees with a dew point of 66. So it feels different than it did yesterday morning. Yesterday, our temperatures were a bit cooler. Our humidity was a little bit lower. So we'll stay in the upper 60s this morning, and then we climb into the upper 70s this afternoon. So it's a little bit cooler later on. It will be much cooler and breezy for tomorrow. I'll show you the big change that comes after the front coming up.
Sounds good, Elizabeth. Thank you. Breaking news. Right now, US 64 West is closed near Lizard Lick Road after a serious crash. Ali Calabar is live in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. Ali, indications on the scene are that this is a deadly crash.
Renee, a fire truck is blocking the vehicle behind me, but yes, it appears to be deadly. We can see officers are also searching the surrounding area, but we want to take you to what we saw when we first got here. This is video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. You can see smoke coming from that vehicle. We know it was a fiery crash. We have Wendell and Zebulon fire crews out here as well. Now, US 64 West near Lizard Lick Road exit is shut down right now. We see multiple officers blocking this off. We also see that traffic is starting to back up. We're going to hear from Ken in the next 30 minutes on any alternate routes for commuters. But right now, we are working to find out what led up to this crash and if it was fatal. We are going to keep you updated. Reporting live in Wake County, Ali Calabar, WRAL News.
Neighbors say shots fired at a Raleigh apartment complex early this morning went through a window into a room where children were sleeping. This is video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. It drove to the Raleigh Millbank Apartments off North Raleigh Boulevard. Police say someone fired shots around 12:45 this morning. We're told no one was hurt. Officers are trying to learn whether the shooting was random. No arrest has been made. Division in the locker room. WRAL's investigative reporting is shining new light on the problems inside the UNC Tar Heels football program under Coach Bill Belichick. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live outside Kenan Stadium this morning. Kelsey, these new developments and covered by WRAL are getting national attention.
Yes, Renee, from the New York Times to the Dan Patrick Show, the chaos within UNC football is gaining national attention. This morning, WRAL's Pat Welter will be on the Today Show talking about his exclusive report on the divide in the locker room. Now, just last night, UNC cornerback coach Armand Hawkins was suspended. The reason? Allegations of providing extra benefits. A text message was sent to all athletes in ticketed sports, reminding them that selling their complimentary tickets could impact their eligibility and violate NCAA rules. WRAL also confirmed the Hulu documentary about Bill Belichick and UNC football is scrapped for now. Our own Pat Welter broke all this news. He explains what you'll hear from him this morning on Today.
They're looking into this report now, and I kind of share with them my process, how I learned some of this information, and how we continue to learn it. What's become just a captivating saga of Bill Belichick.
Tune into the Today Show at 7 for more of Pat's reporting. You can also follow our coverage all day long on WRAL.com. Just search Belichick. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Chapel Hill.
Be sure to watch the Today Show after our morning news for Pat's report. And of course, tune in to our afternoon newscast starting at 4 p.m. for more coverage on Coach Belichick and UNC. Today, lawmakers will vote on another round of proposals to end the government shutdown, which is now entering its 8th day. Democrats and Republicans remain at odds over enhanced Obamacare subsidies. Some Republicans say Americans do not support giving furloughed federal workers back pay. Traditionally, all federal workers affected by a shutdown receive back pay. President Trump said yesterday some federal workers don't deserve it. Senator Tom Tillis cautioned that not guaranteeing back pay would be poor political strategy.
Let's get out of the shutdown. Let's negotiate the premium tax credits and not threaten or use this as a lever to actually create fear and uncertainty for people who are not making a paycheck in the next pay period.
President Trump says he will soon announce which government programs he intends to permanently eliminate. The Trump administration says it will fund a supplemental nutrition program during the government shutdown. WIC, or Women, Infants, and Children, provides nutritious food for low-income pregnant women, new moms, and young children. The administration plans to use tariff money that goes into a general fund managed by the Treasury Department. The White House has not said how much or for how long it will fund the program. Today, a state-level version of President Trump's Department of Government Efficiency will meet in Raleigh. Republican state lawmakers set up their own committee on government efficiency after Trump's DOGE department made headlines earlier this year with efforts to cut costs. WRAL state government reporter Will Doran explains the state-level effort has been much less aggressive in its tactics.
They're not pushing to just fire state employees by the hundreds. They're not pushing to just get rid of tons and tons of state spending. They're taking a more measured approach.
So far, the state committee has also been much less active than the federal DOGE group. Today's meeting will be just its second since being formed in January. Head online to WRAL.com later today for more on what this government efficiency group wants to address. A convicted sex offender arrested at a Fayetteville child care facility is due in court this afternoon. Detectives say Calvin Elliott entered the facility on Sand Hill Road in Fayetteville just before 6 last night. He's now behind bars, charged with being a sex offender on child premises. The sheriff's office arrested him for the same crime last month. An Edgecombe County teaching assistant accused of grabbing a child by the neck is expected in court today. Family members say the victim is 5 years old and has autism. Regina Gray is charged with assault by strangulation and child abuse. Investigators say the school district notified the sheriff's office about the incident at G.W. Bullock Elementary School. The Edgecombe County school system says Gray worked at the school since December of 2024. She's no longer an employee. Gray is out on bond. New buildings at Peace and West Streets in Raleigh can now be up to 30 stories high. This is after Raleigh City Council approved a rezoning request. People for and against that rezoning gathered inside City Council chambers last night. People who live in a nearby neighborhood are concerned their historic properties will be dwarfed by a skyscraper. WRAL spoke to people after the meeting about the decision.
We didn't know how the vote was going to turn out, to be honest with you. We didn't know how many of our city councilors would be courageous enough to say yes to something this dense, and we were really happy to see it.
WRAL has reached out to the developer to learn when ground will break on the project. If you don't have a real ID, you can now renew your driver's license online for a second consecutive time. This change is effective immediately after a new bill was signed into law. The reason is to cut down on those long wait times at DMV offices all across the state. The DMV says 44% of North Carolina drivers do not have a real ID, which means they are eligible for online renewal. It's 4:39 on your Wednesday. Soybean squeeze. North Carolina's soybean industry at the forefront of a trade battle. The message local farmers have for President Trump ahead of the deadline to secure a deal. Chatbot impact, the mission to protect mental health of young children. From summer to fall, that's what today's cold front will do to our weather. This is a live look at Fenton and Cary. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is timing out those scattered showers, that drop in humidity, and when winds pick up as well.
the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
It's 4:43, so we're going to be checking dual Doppler 5000 radar regularly this morning. I wouldn't expect there to be much rain, but we might pick up a sprinkle or two this morning. Better chance for rain as we get closer to lunchtime, but the models look much drier today than they did yesterday. This is not going to be a real good soaker for us. We're going to go 50% chance between, say, 11 a.m. and around 4 p.m. So not a big impact for the morning commute or the evening commute, but our best chance of rain will be closer to lunchtime, early afternoon. We'll walk through that on Futurecast coming up. Heading out the door, it's warmer and muggier than it was this time yesterday. 70 in Wilson and Durham, 68 in Fayetteville. Our temperatures 70 in Roxborough, 68, as I mentioned, in Fayetteville, 70 in Garner and in Goldsboro. So it's a warm start out there. The kids may or may not need a jacket, but they might need a raincoat, especially as they're getting off the bus. There could be some lingering showers or storms. We'll see a high of 79. We'll talk through how much rain we'll see this time and, of course, a developing system that could affect us over the weekend.
Elizabeth, thanks. North Carolina farmers are caught in the middle of the latest chapter in the U.S. trade war with China. Farmers nationwide are already dealing with rising costs on supplies and equipment because of tariffs. Now, China stopped buying U.S. soybeans as retaliation for those tariffs. Soybeans, by the way, are a $643 million business for our state alone. Farmers are worried they won't be able to make a comeback.
This level of concern in agriculture in a long time. I've seen it regionally, but this is across the United States. Because soybeans are a crop that you can grow in every state. So a lot of farmers all over the U.S. grow soybeans.
President Trump has proposed a major aid package for U.S. soybean farmers during China's boycott. Farmers in North Carolina fear time is running out to sell this year's crop to their largest international buyer. This morning, a new push in North Carolina to address the link between social media and suicide. The state's child fatality task force meets today to talk the impact of AI chatbots and companions on kids. North Carolina has sued TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram over these concerns about kids' mental health. State lawmakers, however, have struggled to enact new regulations on social media companies. Look for updates on today's discussion on WRAL.com. The Wake County School Board is extending its deadline for applicants to fill its vacant seat. The board voted last night to push that deadline back 2 weeks. The new deadline is now November 14th. That's because some applicants were confused about which documents they needed to submit. Some also weren't sure if they lived in the district, which is mostly in Apex. A Raleigh man is accused of spraying blood on healthcare workers at UNC Rex. 25-year-old Cameron Gilchrist faces 2 charges for assaulting emergency personnel. According to the arrest warrant, he was getting a diabetic treatment when he sprayed blood in the eyes of 2 hospital employees, and he's accused of exposing them to HIV. Tonight, a vigil will remember victims of domestic violence. The annual Remember My Name vigil takes place at 5:30 tonight in the courtyard of the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office. The sheriff is asking everyone to wear purple in support of victims and survivors. A Wake County brewery is at the center of a lot of discussion after posting their rules for parents on Facebook. Bearded Bee in Wendell created a sign with a list of do's and don'ts. Among them, no yelling, screaming, or excessive noise. Children must be within 6 feet of a parent, and no throwing rocks or other objects. The brewery says staff recently spent hours picking up 3 to 4 gallons of rocks tossed all about their property and nearby roads. We talked with 2 local breweries with different takes. Zinc House Winery Brewery in Durham stopped allowing children after about a year, citing staff strain and safety risks. Meanwhile, Southline Brewing opened a new Apex location with an outdoor patio that includes toys for children.
For young children, it's just how they grow up with bringing kids to breweries, and it's a great way to socialize with families and friends, and you can be out with them. And so for me, it's been the best combination.
It just didn't seem like an appropriate place for children to be here when there's alcohol served, and it's a very adult atmosphere.
We've reached out to Bearded Bee Brewing about their post. They did not want to do an interview. People in Fayetteville will soon see their utility bills going up. The city won approval for the rate hikes to pay for $163 million worth of upgrades to the city's infrastructure. It includes replacing old water and sewer pipes, improving electrical systems, and expanding water and sewer access to new areas. The rates are going up, water, sewer, and electricity each year from 2026 through 2030. And it's going up anywhere from 2% to nearly 6% per year. The Harris nuclear plant in New Hill will test its sirens this morning. People in parts of Wake, Harnett, Lee, and Chatham counties could hear sirens between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. The test will last for about 5 to 30 seconds. This is necessary to ensure all 85 sirens within the 10-mile zone are functioning properly. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is tracking the front that will bring us changes weather-wise. We're going to see gustier conditions as well as that rain that we've been waiting on.
Here's the front. This is our next weather maker. There's very little rain with it right now, and it looks like we may not see very much with it. It's been a fairly dry front really all along. There was a good bit of rain well ahead of it yesterday, but along the front itself, we really haven't seen as much rain. We'll zoom in here, looking for just a sprinkle to pop up possibly this morning. Don't be surprised if we see a little bit of light patchy rain, but it's not likely to be anything that'll cause us any issues for the morning commute. So starting now on Futurecast between now and 7 o'clock, you can see just a couple of little green spots that pop up. And then right around lunchtime, we see a band of rain that moves through. And honestly, that may be about it. By 5 o'clock, it's pretty much over. And we'll begin to see some clearing later on this evening and overnight tonight. And after that, looking at much cooler temperatures and a windy day for tomorrow. Here's a look at downtown Raleigh from our Jimmy V camera. All is quiet. It's a little bit breezy out this morning. You'll notice that the temperatures are warmer than yesterday, 70 degrees. So we're at least 5 to 7 degrees warmer than yesterday. And our dew point sitting at 66. It's still kind of a middle of the road, but that moderately high dew point. Our temperature near 70 for most of the area, but some upper 60s down around Southern Pines, Fayetteville, Clinton, and Goldsboro. 69 in Cary, 68 in Apex. It's 70 in Knightdale and in Gardner this morning. Around town this afternoon, upper 70s for Raleigh and Durham, and looking at 82 in Fayetteville. There's a quick chance for rain as the front moves through. So we're very warm today, but by tomorrow, we start to see the colder air filtering in, and you can see that blue shaded area. It's going to be a pretty big drop. We're going to drop 10 degrees from today to tomorrow, 79 for today's high, 69 on Thursday, and then we'll hold it below normal through the weekend. Our normal high is 76. What really may catch your eye is this 47 for Friday morning. Last week we hit the 40s, but definitely looking at cooler than normal temperatures for Friday, but near normal Thursday and Saturday with temperatures in the mid-50s. We just haven't seen temperatures that cool so far this week. And look at that, frost advisories and freeze watches up into Virginia and West Virginia. Not for our state just yet, but you know, that's likely coming. Another thing that's coming is over the weekend, a coastal low, which could have significant impacts for our coast. Again, we'll talk more about that coming up.
We'll be watching that closely. Elizabeth, thank you. In need of prayer, country music star Dolly Parton is experiencing health challenges. Her sister's heartfelt plea to her fans. And Sip and Stroll, Raleigh has a new social district, where it is and the rules you should follow when you visit. Dolly Parton's family is asking for prayers as she faces ongoing health challenges. Parton's sister, Frida, posted on Facebook asking for fans to pray for the country music star. This comes a week after Dolly postponed her Las Vegas residency because of a medical procedure. Frida says her sister, quote, has not been feeling her best lately. Taylor Swift's new album is a hit, and one series has a big milestone. David Daniel has details and more in today's Hollywood Minute.
Taylor Swift's The Life of a Showgirl has sold 3 million copies in just 2 days. Music sales tracker Luminate says that's already the second biggest sales week of the modern era, trailing only Adele's 25 a decade ago. Of course, Swift's latest blockbuster has 5 more days to set the record. The only concert feature ever filmed with IMAX cameras is returning to theaters. Rolling Stones at the Max, filmed during the band's 1990 Steel Wheels Urban Jungle Tour, has been digitally remastered with a brand new sound mix. Tickets go on sale October 23rd for a limited run in IMAX theaters worldwide beginning December 10th.
The houses are bigger, the weather is warmer, and tan lines are outstanding.
Beverly Hills 90210 is 35 years old. To celebrate, Paramount is releasing all 10 seasons remastered in 4K Ultra HD. The series bundle hits digital platforms October 20th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
You'll now have a new place where you can sip and stroll downtown. Raleigh leaders approved a new social district in the Seaboard Station area. Social districts let people take alcoholic drinks from one business to another as long as they are both opted in. This newest one could include more than 110 businesses. It all starts November 14th. Much more news ahead at 5. Part of US 64 is closed in Wake County right now after a serious crash near Lizard Lick Road. Here's a live look at the scene. Emergency responders are there right now. What we know about the crash that appears deadly. And UNC football divide. An assistant coach off the job after a WRAL investigation into the Tar Heels locker room. New developments as the Belichick era is off to a rocky start. And saving on groceries. With inflation and tariffs, food prices are climbing. 5 on your side shares 5 steps to help you save on your next food bill.